Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Alpough Show, the human spirit experiment. My name is Michael Alpough. I've been doing my YouTube channel. This is my 216th broadcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Wisdom for Beginners Part 3. And we'll be talking about first two already have been adult of my spirit and adult of my mind. Today, we'll be talking about an adult of my thought. So, take some time here. Here we are growing together. We're in a world where we're in chaos. And our whole goal is to find peace within that chaos. And so, for all of us, having peace in our thoughts is the key as we go forward. So let's begin. Wisdom for Beginners, Part 3. I am an adult of my thought. This is our topic today. Most of us have issues with the things that we dwell on from the past that's stopping us from being the greatest spiritual being, the greatest human being that we can and want to be, which should always be our goal. Roll to the goal, okay? First, when we go through our thought, first let's talk about an adult. Adult. We're all adults, I suppose, if we're over 21, right? So an adult is a person who is fully grown or developed. We are mature physically, whether we want to or not. So no matter what, all of us are grown. This show's not really for children because they're still developing their thoughts and they're being taught by their parents, which might be you. So these are the things that you learn so that you can pass this on to your children. So now, thought. What does thought actually mean? An idea or opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. I want to talk about that just a little bit. Each one of us are in an environment. All of us are in different environments. You could be in an apartment, you could be at home, you could be in an RV, you could be out camping, but wherever you're at, what state, your environment is your environment. Your environment and what you are surrounded by in the environment. And this affects our thoughts. So having the best environment that you can live in will create an environment of thought, whether negative or positive. Now, I've moved many times in my lifetime. And part of the reason why I moved a lot was because I was not living in a safe environment, which was affecting my thought process. In their most common sense, the terms thought and thinking refer to conscious cognitive processes that can happen independently of sensory stimulation. So you could be affected simply by being in an environment of electrical smog. So, for example, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a it's a really strong field that we're not even familiar with because you don't feel it, but you're in it, and it can affect. And of course, when you're watching TV, the sensory you're in that environment of the plasma field, which can affect your thinking without even knowing it. A single act or product of thinking, idea, or notion to collect one's thoughts, the act or process of thinking, mental activity, thought as well as action. So now, when you have the thoughts, this process of thinking, it can become an action. And it can be an action in your own mind. And you may not even know that it's actually going on. And this is why what you watch on the TV, what you listen to in your spare time, even the music, if there's one thing I think that has changed over time as I'm seeing and hearing the music is how much it's changed. And, in my opinion, it's not very good. I grew up playing music, and I don't listen to the music out there anymore. Just because of the message that is being done with the music. And again, just know if you're influenced as an adult, just imagine what the children are. And so it's very important that we pass on good thoughts. Now, this is going to be a process. All right. That's why this is in 10 parts. Now, the whole goal here, because of the wisdom of Mother, is that we want to become a spiritual adult. All right. See, now we're all physically an adult. Okay. And there's nothing we can do about it. The whole process of being a physical adult takes its own process. So, me being in my age is totally different than someone who is 30 years, 40 years younger than me. So, a spiritual adult is a lifetime process, by the way. All right. Spiritual maturity is not guaranteed. Spiritual maturity may be defined as the gradual process of developing healthy and life-giving ways of relating to oneself, to others, and the environment. And environment. So the environment. But the one to oneself is only you can control that. And so it's just like if someone says, I'm going to make you a really nice meal, a nice vegan meal, and it's very healthy. It's got vegetables. It has no meat. It has no processed food in it. and the person says to you, no, thank you. I want to go to McDonald's and have a Big Mac. There's a difference in what you're putting in your body. If you've studied anything about McDonald's and fast food, the things that they put in it, we don't have any idea. So again, if someone is like, I want to call them a McDonald's adult, McDonald's spirit, then it means they want fast food. They want it fast. They want it quick. To make a meal, a vegan meal, a healthy meal, takes time. You have to make the rice. You have to cook the vegetables. You have to make the bread. It takes time. So now the question comes here on, are you in control of your thoughts, or are the thoughts in control of you? Now, this is the most important part here as we go, is these are suggested core values, and there's suggestions. There are many more, but these are some suggestions on whether or not you are a spiritual, mature adult. Okay. Number one, your life is guided by a core set of principles and values. So you've already established what your principles are and your values. And so you're not going to go outside of them without recognizing why you're doing that. Okay. Number two, you are slow to hold on to grudges and quick to forgive. This is a key in the sense that if you hold on to grudges, they become weights. Thoughts weigh, they have weight, and that weight is in your mind and in that thought, and it becomes a intention of unforgiveness or holding a grudge or anger. Okay. It doesn't work out. Everything does not work out. Not everybody's going to love me or agree with me on what I'm doing by even talking about Sophia as wisdom and teaching this. But I don't hold any grudge, because I know people are not going to always agree with me, and I don't always agree with them. And so in my heart, I forgive even the worst. And it's not necessarily for them as much as it is for you. Number three, you care deeply for the poor, the marginalized, and the downtrodden. This is also another word for compassion. It's so easy to just walk up to a homeless person and say, get a job. That's just so easy to do that when you don't know where they've been. You don't know where their life was even the day before. Okay. So compassion in your thoughts. First, give yourself compassion. See, you care deeply for yourself, for the poor, for the marginalized and the downtrodden, and the ones you love. You care, you still have a caring for them. Because in your spirit, you know that you're blessed and you're grateful and you're thankful. And you've learned to forgive yourself for making mistakes. You can forgive yourself for those mistakes. Even if you repeat them, you still have to forgive yourself. You still have to keep going. What does this do? Reset the thoughts. Number four, you maintain your childlike sense of wonder. Always wanting to know things. Always have this bright-eyed look. of always being in wonder. And what are you going to learn next? What positive thought can I create to maintain in my brain? That sense of wonder. You are wary of the dangers of excess, but you have an abundance mindset. So we always want to have abundance. Now, I always call it enough. May you always have enough. May you always have enough. That's one of the oldest expressions that's ever came across. May you have enough. And if you've not had that, if you've not heard this before, it is a great saying. And I say it every day because every day now is in its own chaos, especially what is going on around the world. Number 6, you defer pleasure, meaning you don't spend your last dollar on something that just leads you back to this gratification. In other words, people live where the only thing they want is gratification, pleasure. And the world, well, it's not about pleasure. I mean, even if you want to, let's just say a child, you want to always have them protected, or to be in fun mode. But that's just not the way the world is. Sooner or later, you're going to have to teach the child how to go to the bathroom, how to put their clothes on, how to bathe themselves, how to read, how to swim. These are things that are not easy for a kid. And it's the same thing with us, having to pay your bills. Number 7, you are joyful. Joyful. Just your attitude of gratitude. Being at peace is joy. Giving is joyful. And even receiving is joyful. Thankful. Thankful thoughts. Number 8, you practice personal responsibility, meaning that you carry your weight and there's a pride in that. And so that people know that they can depend on you. But first, you have to know, are you dependable? Maybe that's something that you're continuing to improve yourself upon. And it is part of spiritual maturity. You are dependable. That is a very important thing. I just went over that a little bit here. And being dependable to yourself first. I kind of put those two together here. You are at peace with what cannot be changed. If somebody has hurt you and there's nothing you can do about it, it doesn't mean that they steal your peace. If they steal your peace, then they've won. And it's not about winning or losing here, but it's about being at peace. Being at peace. Now, where am I here? Hold on just a second. So here's a saying that I thought was pretty interesting, and I wanted to comment on it. This gentleman's name is Dandapani. I thought this was good, Dan Pani. You don't learn to concentrate by eliminating distractions. You learn to concentrate by actually learning how to concentrate. Now, I thought this was where I kind of want to end here. And because this whole thing about concentration, okay? Now, for me, I'm a Burning Man. If you haven't heard Burning Man, I've gone to many Burning Mans, and I've met lots of new people that come into Burning Man. And I'm in like the biggest camp, 300 people just all together as one. And it's kind of overwhelming if you're not used to it. And my saying to them as well as to you is having peace in chaos. And this is where we're at. It begins, it ends with thought. I am an adult of my thought. I wish you well. Check out some of my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. And I will be back on our next part 4.